Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to another fantastic edition. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, help the channel out. So, in today's video, I'm gonna go over two things. One is the CPI report, and the other one is the Tesla stock. Okay, so for the CPI report, that will be released this coming Wednesday, April 10th at 8:30 Eastern time. So be on the lookout for that. And basically, I think the CPI numbers will come a little bit hot, and that will affect the markets, that will tank the markets. And my reasoning is why the CPI numbers will come in a little bit hot. It's because of gas prices, right? I do feel, and I've seen this myself, that where I live at, I don't know about you guys, but gas prices have gone up for the last 1 month, right? And also the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, it has many players and threats here and there. So I just feel like that is adding to their overall supply chain issues, and maybe that might affect supply chain issues, and that will drive prices up, and those prices will keep going up, and that will affect what? Us. That will affect everybody. That will affect the CPI report, maybe even going forward. Okay, so with that being said, if the CPI numbers come in hot, that will create an atmosphere for investors where they will think the Feds are going to postpone cutting rates to maybe later on towards the end of the year, or maybe even cutting 2 times instead of 3 times. So this is just my own assessment. Of course, we'll wait and see how the numbers come in on Wednesday, but that's just my take on that. Okay, so number 2, Tesla. So Tesla, especially the stock, it has been one of the worst performance stocks in the S&P 500 year to date. Well, not year to date, since the beginning of this year. And so with the upcoming earnings, many analysts just think that the numbers will be bad and the stock will continue to tank, right? Which is probably right. But on Friday after hours, Elon came out and said there will be an unveiling of robotaxi August 8th. Okay, so that is a game changer, right? So instead of the stock really crashing as people were expecting, as the analysts were expecting, there's another catalyst here that's being added to the whole, for lack of a better word, equation. So here, analysts and investors have to consider, okay, we have earnings, okay, maybe they're not that good. Okay, we have the robotaxi unveiling event in August 8th. So instead of Tesla really tanking, I do feel like it might tank, but not to the levels that investors and analysts thought it will go. And the robotaxi news will kind of propel the stock a little bit, and hold it to maybe levels that are more stable and better. Maybe we'll see what happens tomorrow in terms of the robotaxi news, whether the stock will gap up or go up by, you know, who knows how many points. But that's a good catalyst for Tesla, because I'm sure many people and many analysts had just given up for this quarter. So they just expected the earnings to be bad, the stock price to tank to probably lows for the year, and from here kind of start reversing slowly, right? Bear in mind that in the last earnings call, Elon and everybody else from Tesla, they were concerned that demand for vehicles in general is being affected by higher interest rates, right? That makes sense, right? Because higher interest rates are affecting car buyers, they're affecting house buyers, right? Because, you know, at the end of the month you have a high mortgage payment, you have a high car note, right? So the lower the interest rates, the better, right? So whenever the feds start cutting the interest rates, that will be good for Tesla. That will be good for the housing market and people who are trying to buy houses, right? So so that's my take on Tesla. So they have the earnings, I believe. Let me check. So they have the earnings on April 23rd, after hours, of course. So also be on the lookout for that, and let's see what happens. But it's gonna be interesting what happens tomorrow to Tesla. Let's see how far it goes up, because that will dictate what happens in the week of earnings. So guys, I'll leave it at that. So thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one.